Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Sitting in for Pinky Webb, I'm Ria Tanjuatco-Trillo. Today on the program, despite an initial surprise in the announcement of the rice price cap, economic managers expressed support for the declaration aimed at stabilizing prices in the market. Government agencies ramp up cash aid distribution for micro-rice retailers incurring losses due to the price ceiling. The Trade Department eyes lifting the price cap on rice within 2 weeks. Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura President Rosendo So and Social Welfare Department spokesperson Romel Lopez join us live in the show. President Bongbong Marcos vows to maximize new technology to improve local rice production and ensure a stable supply. This comes after a spike in rice prices that forced the government to impose a price cap. Officials are now rushing to distribute subsidies to retailers affected by the price ceiling. But as our correspondent EJ Gomez tells us, several issues hound the program.
Arabel is disappointed over the 15,000 peso subsidy she received from the government. She says it is not enough to pay for their losses. She's among the thousands of qualified rice retailers for the one-time cash assistance following the implementation of Executive Order 39 that sets price cap of 41 and 45 pesos per kilo on regular and well-milled rice.
15,000 lang po yung binigay sa amin, pero dalawa po yung chinek nilang pangalan. Dalawa yung pwesto namin. Kaya nagtaka nga po kami, ang sabi po sa amin, pag-aaralan.
Javier, another rice retailer, says several stalls and business owners in Kamuning Market received cash assistance despite not selling 41 and 45 pesos per kilo rice. He adds even those who have totally stopped selling rice were given the grant. The Social Welfare Department says their payouts are based on the list submitted by the Trade Department. About 50,000 to 60,000 rice retailers are expected to benefit from the government subsidy.
Tayo po dito tinap lang as paymasters. Parang kahera lang po. But then the list po talaga, DTI po. At kami po, we submit to their expertise.
The subsidy program has a budget of 5.5 billion pesos.
Sa tingin namin, we're very confident that we can provide yung assistance doon sa ating mga nangangailangan na rice retailers.
The government aims to finish the subsidy distribution by September 14. Before the ban on ayuda takes effect prior to Sangguniang Kabataan Elections 2023. Arabel feels retailers like her are torn between the government and the consumers.
Kami po yung inaaway nila. Bakit daw nakuha na namin yung ayuda pero wala yung bigas naman daw na kailangan nila wala dito sa namin, sa pwesto namin. Mas mainam po kung tatanggalin na po yun. Hindi na nila papakalaman yung pagpepresyo namin. Mababawi namin yung gastos namin sa araw-araw.
Sa palengke o nauubos na kaagad?
This was echoed by the group Bagong Alyansang Makabayan, which also urged the government to provide subsidy for local farmers and importation and junk the rice liberalization law.
Ang ginagawa kasi nila, temporary solution ito, tapos ang ipapalit naman nila, mas malala, importation. Kailangan ng mga local producers natin ng support para madala yung kanilang produkto sa pamilihan at maging mas mababa ang presyo.
EJ Gomez, CNN Philippines.
Let's go straight to the source of the story. Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura Chairperson Rosendo So. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, morning. Magandang umaga.
Now, sir, it's been a week since the implementation of the price cap on rice. Ano ho ang inyong assessment so far in terms of its effects, hindi lang sa mga consumers, kung hindi rin sa mga retailers at farmers?
Yes, yung move na to cap the price is a good move kasi nakita namin may mga importer and traders na nagmamanipula dun sa presyo ng palay. They bought from rice miller from Pangasinan, La Union, Ilocos, area in Tarlac and Nueva Ecija and Isabela at high price of palay price, no? Umabot ng 34 pesos per kilo, in which kung ita-translate mo ito sa bigas, abot ng 52 pesos. So ang kita namin is may nagmamanipula ng presyo dahil gusto nila yung presyo ng local rice will be the same with the imported rice para mabenta yung imported rice. Yung price cap, after yung price cap na ginawa ng ating presidente, nag-normalize kagad yung presyo. No? Kasi before yung nagmanupula yung presyo, ang presyo lang ng farm gate is nasa 22 to 25 pesos. Pero nung ginawa yung pagbili ng mas mataas, tumaas lahat, no? And kung makita mo, yung retail price tumaas din. Ngayon, ang good news is bumalik na sa normal ang presyo. Yung basa nasa 19 pesos, 18 pesos. Yung tuyo, bumalik na sa 23, 24 pesos. Na in which yung 23 and 24 pesos can deliver to Manila at 40 pesos and can be retail at 45 pesos.
So all in all, so far, you feel it's having a good effect. But some rice retailers are having a hard time complying with the rice cap. What do you think, sir, ay dapat yung maging compromise dito?
Yeah, yung stocks naman ng retailer, kung makita natin, ano lang naman yan, 200 to 300 bags. No? Hindi naman lahat is well-milled rice. Ang well-milled rice kasi, dun sa declaration ng DTI, is 15 to 25 broken. No? So yung mga, kung makita mo, ang dami ng stocks nila na imported, that is 5% broken. Na in which, binibenta pa rin nila sa 52 to 60 pesos or 70 pesos. Hindi naman kinap ng government yun. No? Ang kinap lang ng government is yung well-milled rice and yung regular meal. Pero ang regular meal, ayaw masyado ng consumer ngayon kasi it's almost 30% to 40% broken. No? Mostly, ang gusto ng consumer is yung 45 pesos. Ang tingin naman natin with the subsidy, kasi per outlet kung makita natin is 15,000 kung binigay sa isang outlet. Kung 5 pesos ang adjustment, that is around 3,000 1 kilo. No? So, malaki yun kung tutuusin. So, yung stocks naman nila, hindi naman lahat is well-milled rice. No? May special rice, may premium rice, na in which hindi naman kinap ng government.
All right. So you're saying, sir, you feel that the 15,000 aid is enough for rice retailers?
Yes, and the rice miller is already delivering to the retailer at 41 to 43 pesos.
All right. Now, may nare-receive ba po kayong reports that some can just no longer adjust to the price cap and dahil dito, nagsara na lang ng business nila para hindi malugi?
Yeah, for the first 2 days, no? Pero nakita natin, nag-open up na sila and they are selling the 45 pesos price. No? Maski sa province nung una, medyo nagkagulo, they thought na yung 5% na nabili nila na premium price will be sell it at 45 pesos. In which, after that, mga LGU kasi tumatawag din sa amin, what happened and ano bang kinap ng ating government. So, sinabi natin na ito is yung well-milled rice na yung percentage na broken is between 15 to 25%. So, at least naintindihan nila and everybody's implementing, no? And the new harvest now is coming to the retailer. So sa tingin natin na etong September kasi ang expected harvest natin is 2.76 million metric tons of rice, no? This is around 3.68 million metric tons of palay. So ang tingin natin is malaki 'yon, no? And total harvest natin ang tinitingnan natin itong September kasi is 2.7 million metric tons of palay.
All right. So now na may darating na harvest, can we say that there is a rice shortage? If there is a rice shortage, what is driving it?
Yeah, walang rice shortage, no? What drives the price up is yung mga ibang traders talaga pinataas yung presyo. Yun ang nakikita natin. In which we think na tama yung direction ng government because we see a 43 pesos to 44 pesos of retail by next month. So mas mababa sa cap ng ginawa ng atin na Pangulo. Ang tingin natin by next month, mas mababa na yung presyo kaysa yung cap. So I think tatanggalin na yung cap ng ating linabas ng EON ng ating Pangulo.
Right. Speaking of lifting the cap, the Trade Department has said that the price cap may be lifted as soon as 2 weeks from now. But again, something they have to review. Do you think within 2 weeks, kaya na nila i-lift yung cap?
Yeah, we think na 2 weeks time is enough, no? Dahil yung expected harvest natin na etong September malaki. 75% of the total projection from July to September nandito sa September. So we think na itong 2 weeks time kaya nang tanggalin yung cap.
So, sir, exactly when are we expecting this next harvest?
Now, starting harvesting na, no? Pero ang peak is September 15. Ang peak ng for this month, no? Ang malaking harvest is 15 to 30. So, within 2 weeks time, sa tingin natin, yung presyo will be lower or equal to 45 pesos.
All right. And exactly how big of a harvest is this? I think the number you mentioned earlier was 2.76 million metric tons. Is that correct?
Yes. This is times 0.62. Kung i-copy natin sa rice, is around 1.71 thousand metric tons.
1.71 metric tons. All right. Sir, we need to take a short break. Stay with us. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. Breaking news here on CNN Philippines. A Pasig court has acquitted Rappler CEO Maria Ressa and media company Rappler Holdings Corporation of the fifth and final tax evasion charges filed during the Duterte administration. This is the latest acquittal secured by Ressa and Rappler Holdings after the Court of Tax Appeals also cleared them of 4 tax-related charges in January this year. Rappler reported that there are only 2 remaining active cases against Rappler and Ressa, a cyber libel conviction pending before the Supreme Court, and an appeal on the closure of the online news site pending before the Court of Appeals. Do stay tuned to CNN Philippines for more developments on this breaking news. So for now, let's go back to our source today, Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura Chairperson Rosendo So. Sir, welcome back to the program. I want to talk now about rice tariffs. And the Finance Secretary Jokno, he also proposes to reduce tariffs on rice imports to lower down the prices. Your thoughts on this po? Is it a good idea?
Yeah. Ma'am Ria, dapat ang direction natin is local production. Kasi after itong harvest, we could plant on our rice area from October to December, in which if we plant this October to December planting season again, after the harvest, this cropping season, this can reach up to July next year. Aabot ito ng July, no? Ng next 2024. So, dapat ang iplano ng ating government is umpisahan yung ibigay yung mga subsidy na nakolekta din sa tariff, no, last year. We have a 12 billion, additional 12 billion collection ang nakolek kasi natin last year na tariff is around 22 bilyones. So yung 22 billions, yung 10 billion is na-allocate na sa DA pero hindi pa nagamit yung iba. No? But we have a 12 billion to give the farmers 5,000 cash each. Na in which dapat umpisa na, ibigay na yung cash para magamit ng farmers. Kung aani sila, gagamitin nila yung pera. Kung tatanim ulit sila, gagamitin nila yung pera. Siguro yun ang dapat na direksyon na gawin kasi naka-allocate yan na sa budget natin. Mm-hmm. And ang importation kasi natin, Ria, ngayon is ang pinapasok natin yung 5% broken. Hindi yung 15 and 20% na well-milled rice. So it means na ang market, kung nasa 15 to 20% broken ang market, bakit natin isa-subsidize yung Vietnam and Thailand farmers, no? Na para bumili doon. Kasi kung binaba mo yung tariff, siyempre, mas malaki yung ibibili natin. Mm-hmm. So kung ganun mangyari, ang tingin namin, itataas din ng Thailand and Vietnam yung presyo na in which yung subsidized na tariff na ibaba from 35 to 10, baka mapunta lang dun sa Thailand and Vietnam. Kasi itataas din na. Lalo tayo mainganyo bumili ng imported. So, kung may demand, itataas ng Vietnam and Thailand. Mm-hmm. Na in which, kung makita natin, yung nangyari na cap dito, nung inumpisa yung cap natin, yung price ng cap dun sa presyo, nagbaba kagad ng $20 per metric ton sa Vietnam. Dahil less yung papasok natin na import. So, naglalaro din ang Vietnam and Thailand kasi silang may bigas. No? Mm-hmm. So, ang mas maganda ang gawin ng direksyon ng ating government is to plant more. And we can produce, ang tingin natin na kaya natin up to July next year kung continuous yung tanim natin from October to December. Mm-hmm. And continuous lang ang suporta sa magsasaka natin, in which kung makita natin, doon sa Thailand, ang retail price ng bigas, sa Vietnam, ang retail price ng bigas, mas mataas pa kaysa dito sa Pilipinas.
All right. So you are not for lowering the tariff, sir?
So we are not for the lowering of the tariff.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us. We do appreciate that. That was SINAG Chairperson Rosendo So. We'll be taking another short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Ria Tanjuatco-Trillo. Our source today is Social Welfare Assistant Secretary Romel Lopez. Asec, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yes, Ma'am Ria, good morning and thank you for inviting us.
All right, sir, first we'd like to get an update on the distribution of aid to rice retailers. How much has been released at this point and who exactly are the beneficiaries?
Yes, ma'am. Since yesterday, our final data has shown that we have distributed around 7.5 million pesos of cash assistance to affected rice retailers under our program, Sustainable Livelihood Program. So yesterday, with our payouts in Nabotas, Parañaque, and Zamboanga, we have profiled and verified and distributed to around 279 rice retailers, and that's equivalent to 77% from our target beneficiaries. That's a little bit higher, way higher compared to the first batch of our payouts during the day one, where we garnered around 42% of profiled and served clients compared to our target beneficiaries. Well, we're looking at the possible of the birthing pains, as we say, since it's the first day of rollout. When it comes, ma'am, to the target beneficiaries, according to the eligibility criteria imposed by the Department of Trade and Industry, these are rice retailers that are selling or rice within the price ceiling at the time of the surveillance and monitoring of the DTI, and they should meet the following conditions. First, they are retailers licensed with the Business Permits and Licensing Office or BPLO of the LGU, and then retailers who are registered under the DTI as sole proprietors or under the Securities and Exchange Commission as a partnership or corporation. We also include unlicensed retailers as long as they sell regular meal and well-milled rice within the price ceiling of the EO 39, and they are validated by the DTI, and they are validated by the market masters of any market, public and private market, and then verified by the DTI.
So, Asec, in total, how many beneficiaries fall under that?
Well, when it comes to the total numbers of targeted beneficiaries, ma'am, we don't have the final data yet, but we're looking at roughly around maybe 30 to 50,000. So that's based on the initial data of some private organizations, of rice retailers, and of course the data of the DTI. But then with the mandate of the President to make sure that this payout will be inclusive, like even unlicensed rice retailers, just what I've said. So that number might increase, and also where we are in talks with the DTI to make sure to come up with this master list as soon as possible. But for clarity, at this point in time, the DTI and the DSWD, we're working hand in hand to come up with the initial data or listing, and then once they verified any of this master list, like for example, Metro Manila has come up with their list earlier compared to other region, and this is vetted and verified by both agency, we can immediately proceed to the payout. So as long as any region or municipality comes up with the earlier listing or identification of targeted beneficiaries, we can already pay out. And that's the commitment of your DSWD under the leadership of Secretary Rex Gatchalian.
So, Asa, could you tell us which areas or regions are the distributions concentrated in, and ano yung mga challenges sa pag-distribute nyo ng aid?
Well, first of all, the challenges, ma'am, of course, is the validating of the list. So, for example, in San Juan, during the first payout, we have targeted beneficiaries at like 48, and then 24 of them were served, and that's equivalent to 50% of the client served and the target beneficiary. So some of the challenges, ma'am, of course, the verification process. It doesn't mean that you sell rice and you're eligible for this, because we've set standards that you must adhere to the price ceiling, and at the same time, you should be on the master list. And secondly, you should be verified and vetted by the DTI and the DSWD. Some of the challenges, ma'am, of course, some of the payouts area, some of the retailers, they're not really aware of the possibility that they might be entitled for this program. So that's why the DTI and the DSWD is working double time to launch an information campaign or to talk to their market masters or maybe organization, okay, to engage them of coming forward and for us to be able to serve them, because that's the mandate of our president.
Right. Last question, Asec. Given the pace at which you're already able to distribute, when do you expect to complete the aid distribution?
Well, first and foremost, ma'am, unless and until these guidelines for the implementation is repeated, we will continue. But then another challenge, maybe, is the possibility of course, for us not securing an exemption with the COMELEC when it comes to releasing aid during election period, and that will lapse September 14. That's why before September 14, the DSWD and the DTI were working double time to accommodate, okay, as many beneficiaries as we can, because we don't want to, if for example, we were not able to secure that exemption from COMELEC, so we're gonna wait until October 31 for us to proceed again. So we're hoping that we can get that exemption And from there, if we get that exemption, we will continue unless we saturated, okay, the very last targeted beneficiaries of this program. Those rice retailers selling rice, okay, once again, prescribed by the EO39 and that they are affected of this EO39, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much for your time, sir. We appreciate it. That was Social Welfare Assistant Secretary Romel Lopez. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. Sitting in for Pinky Webb, I'm Ria Tanjuatco-Trillo. You're watching CNN Philippines.